Welcome to another episode of the Fluent English podcast. Today, we're diving into a topic that a lot of us can relate to: how to manage a crazy life and short attention span with one simple, yet powerful tool, the to-do list.
That's right. Whether you're juggling multiple tasks, running from one appointment to the next, or just have a lot on your plate at any given moment, it's easy for things to slip through the cracks. And if you're someone who struggles to focus or keep your mind from jumping around, the pressure can feel even more intense. But don't worry, there's a solution. The humble to-do list might be your secret weapon.
Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "I've heard this a million times," stick with us. We're not just talking about any to-do list. We're talking about a method that can help you stay on track even when your mind is all over the place.
Exactly. The trick is in how you structure your list. It's not about writing down a million tasks and hoping you'll magically get through them. It's about being smart with your approach. So, let's break it down.
First off, let's talk about prioritization. One of the biggest mistakes people make is dumping every single thing they need to do onto one giant list. But here's the deal: if you have a crazy life and a short attention span, your brain won't be able to handle the overwhelm.
Right. So, the first rule of the to-do list method is to categorize your tasks. You can break them down into simple groups like urgent, important, and can wait. This way, you're not looking at a never-ending list of random things that don't seem to connect. Your brain can focus on the things that really need attention, and the less important stuff doesn't seem so daunting.
Exactly. Another pro tip: keep it short and sweet. Don't go overboard with your to-do list. We all have the tendency to make these gigantic lists that are impossible to get through, especially when your attention span is shorter. Instead, aim to have a list of 3 to 5 realistic tasks that you can tackle in a day.
And here's another game changer: break your tasks into tiny, manageable chunks. Let's say one of your tasks is write report. That could feel overwhelming, especially if you're someone who struggles to focus. But instead of that big, scary task, break it down into smaller steps. Like, write introduction, outline key points, add references, and so on. Each of those is something you can accomplish quickly, which will give you a sense of progress.
Exactly. When you break tasks down, they feel less intimidating. You can focus on one small piece at a time, which is great for people with short attention spans because it feels like you're making progress without getting bogged down.
And let's talk about timing. People with crazy schedules often feel like there's never enough time to get everything done. But here's the thing: it's not about finding more time, it's about using the time you do have more effectively. That's where the Pomodoro technique comes in. Have you heard of that?
I have. The Pomodoro technique is brilliant for anyone with a short attention span. You work in focused bursts, like 25 minutes of work, followed by a 5-minute break. It keeps your brain engaged without feeling like you're forcing yourself to work for hours at a stretch. After a few rounds, you take a longer break, say 15 minutes.
So, combine this with your to-do list method, and you're golden. Let's say you've got write report on your list. You can break that task down into 25-minute chunks. Focus on one chunk, then reward yourself with a 5-minute break. You're not sitting at your desk for hours trying to push through, you're tackling small parts of the task when your brain is at its most alert.
Absolutely. And here's something else that's key: visualizing your success. When you're marking off tasks, even small wins, take a moment to feel good about what you've done. Crossing off an item on your list gives your brain a little hit of dopamine, which motivates you to keep going. If you're really feeling it, use a color-coded system to highlight your completed tasks. It's like giving yourself a little pat on the back.
And don't forget to adjust your list as needed. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things will come up that force you to shift your priorities. So, don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get everything done on the list. Just move it to tomorrow's list and keep going. Flexibility is key.
Right, and finally, don't overthink it. We all have a tendency to feel like we need to be perfect at everything we do. But when you've got a crazy life and a short attention span, perfectionism is your worst enemy. The goal is progress, not perfection.
Exactly. Even if you only get half of your list done, that's still progress. It's about finding a system that works for you, not about adhering to some perfect ideal. So, start with these tips, prioritize, break things down, use the Pomodoro technique, and don't forget to celebrate your wins.
That's all for today, folks. We hope these to-do list tips help you stay on top of your tasks, even when life feels like it's moving a million miles per hour. And remember, it's all about finding what works best for you.
Exactly. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time with more practical tips to make your life easier. Until then, stay focused, stay organized, and don't forget to take a break.
Bye and happy listening all.